All right, guys, welcome back to Relegation Battle. I think it's been maybe a month, maybe just over a month. So obviously you can't go over all the action, but we're just going to talk about the recent sort of news headlines. Best place to probably start is, I think an hour ago now, Gareth Southgate did release his squad for the upcoming games against Albania and San Marino. Jack, I'll come straight to you. Jadon Sancho not in the squad. Is that the right call?
I mean, whether it's the right one or not, it's no surprise because he doesn't play. So you can't pick someone that doesn't play. That's down to Ollie and his team selection. So I like Sancho. I think he's a good player, but obviously he hasn't played much, hasn't started well. So there's no surprise for me that he's not in the England squad. Whether he should do, probably not, but definitely it's not a surprise with how little he's playing.
Do you think he does deserve to play a bit more than the minutes he's getting right now, or is it a bit rightly deserved?
No, I think every Man United fan would tell you he needs to start because when now Rashford back, Rashford plays every game. If we're going to play Rashford, Ronaldo and Greenwood as a front three, both Rashford and Greenwood aren't wingers. They don't create their first thought in their mind is, I want to score. They're both inside forwards, so that leaves only Bruno to create. And if you just mark Bruno out of the game, there's no one to create for him. So it has to be Sancho in for Greenwood or Sancho in for Rashford on either side to make the whole team balance. So 100% he should be starting more. But like I said, you've got a clueless manager who don't know what he's doing. So
fair enough. So I'll come to the goalkeepers now. We've got Sam Johnston, Pickford and Ramsdale. Rams obviously has been on good form recently. Would you start him ahead of Pickford now, or would you still give Pickford that number one role?
I think for now, you'd still give it to Pickford. Just because obviously he had a good Euros. So I think Southgate's going to want to stick to certain players that he had in that team, which I think is why he's picked a few players that probably you could say maybe shouldn't be in there, but they are because they had a good tournament. So, yeah, I think the way Ramsdale's playing, he can definitely come in. But I think for now, he's just going to stick with Pickford just because he does well for England. So there's no point changing it just because he's on good form. But he is doing very well. He's actually surprised me. So
yeah, I think he's surprised a lot of people, to be fair. And sticking with you, Ty, Tomori's in the squad again. Do you think he can break into that England backline that we saw at the Euros?
Tomori's in there, is he? I thought he didn't get picked. Again, it's one of them because Maguire and Stones had such a good tournament. They usually look quite good together. But Tomori, he could. I think if he keeps playing how he's been playing, then definitely. But he needs to be given chances for England because it depends what formation we play. If it's a back three, I think he definitely can. But then it's going to be hard to get into the back four just because Stones and Maguire always play well together. But then the way Maguire's been playing for Man United, he hasn't been playing great. But you know, it's just Southgate. He does like Harry Maguire, so I don't think he'll ever come out of that team. I think if he comes in for anyone, it will be Stones.
Yeah. Well, on that Maguire point, Jack, are you happy that he's been left out? I think it's fair to say he was rushed back a bit from his injury. Not sure if it's 100%.
Was Maguire not in the squad?
No, Connor Cody, Mings, Tomori and Stones are the centre-backs that I can see.
I thought he was in there. I'm pretty sure I've seen Man United tweeted.
Oh, no, I'm looking at the last month's one. Hang on. All right, yeah. My bad.
Okay. It's okay, but like I said, he's not been...
Yeah. Are you upset then that he has been picked?
Whether it'd be upset, whether I'm upset, I don't know, but I don't think he should be picked. He's been shocking since the return of the season. And again, he's another one of the favourites of both Solskjaer and Southgate. You know, the guy came back after one training session to play against Leicester, was the worst player on the pitch, didn't get subbed off because he's club captain, so he's immune to that. And then the results came out today. Like an article came out the other day from the Telegraph that said he was 7 to 10 days away from being fit enough to get picked against Leicester. So it was just a poor management decision to play Maguire in that Leicester game, and he has been rushed back because ever since he's looked rusty. I mean, even before his injury was bad, but yeah, he shouldn't have got picked. But like he's one of Southgate's favourites, so he was always going to get picked.
Yeah. And, finally, the midfield, we saw Phillips and Rice form a pretty good partnership over the summer. But since then, Jude Bellingham's continued to kick on at Dortmund as well, getting a bit more goal involvement as well there. I think we spoke about it last time, but, how hard is it for someone like Bellingham and Tomori to break into this side? Because Southgate doesn't like to change it that much once he's found, a good setup. So, is it even going to be possible for him to sort of get in that starting lineup before next year's World Cup?
Unless injuries, I can't see it happening. Like Ty said earlier on, he's like you said, Rice and Phillips had a good partnership during the Euros. The thing with Southgate likes to be loyal. So unless injuries or Phillips really has a proper bad, like even worse season, then I can't see anyone breaking up that Rice Phillips midfield under Southgate.
Yeah, fair enough then. Well, let's move to the league. But before we go into the actual teams, obviously Newcastle looking for a new manager since the takeover. Bruce has gone. It looked like Eddie Howe and Unai Emery were the targets. Emery's come out and said he's not leaving Villarreal, so leaves Eddie Howe. I believe they're in talks now. Ty, do you think that's a good appointment for them?
I'm not sure. Just because they're in trouble right now. They need to be careful, otherwise all this money could all be spent in the Championship. So he's a good manager. Obviously, he done well with Bournemouth, but then obviously we even saw it at Bournemouth when they got tough. He wasn't able to keep them up. So I think they need to, like, this is the problem when Mike Ashley left Newcastle in such a shithole. Obviously, Rafa walked a few years ago. It's just their squad is just so bad. Obviously, they've got decent players like Callum Wilson and St. Maximin, but other than that, I don't know. I feel like they might go down. Like whoever they get, really. Because where are they? 19th?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it could work. Obviously, if they get Eddie Howe, he plays attacking football, so it could suit players like St. Maximin. But I don't know. I don't know if it's the right appointment. I think they need someone more secure. And then if they stay up, then maybe they can make that next step.
Yeah. Obviously, Jack, it is a difficult job to take. You can't spend that money straight away. The main objective right now is to keep the club up. And, Eddie Howe could probably do that. But if you're Eddie Howe right now, do you think even if you get to keep the club up, that the club's going to let you spend that money next summer, or do you think they're more likely to bring someone else in if they become available?
They're more likely to bring someone else in. I think whoever the manager is now, I think it's more likely going to be it won't be an interim, but it'll be like that. Someone just to hold the fort, keep them up. And then once next season comes, try and get a top class manager, someone that can buy into a project. Because speaking about it yesterday, they're going to want to get the top players. So to attract them, you're going to have a good manager. So I think whoever the manager is, if it's Eddie Howe, I doubt will be a long term. It will just to be try and survive. And if they survive, then go for a top class manager next season.
Yeah. Well, speaking of new managers, Tom, Conte is at Spurs now. What are your initial thoughts on that?
I'm gassed by it being Conte. I wanted him out regardless. I knew he wouldn't be Man United. I said to Jack, I don't really care if we lose this. Obviously, I wanted to win. But I thought long term, if we're going to sack him, then I don't care about losing this, because honestly, the football's shocking. There was literally no. I didn't understand what his game plan was. We didn't know what we were going to get. We don't score. So he needed to go. But if someone would have told me that you were going to get Conte, which would have been my first choice, but I wouldn't have thought we'd ever go in for him, I'd say sack him straight away. Don't give him a chance, just go. We managed to get him. He said he wasn't ready for the job 6 months ago. I don't know if I believe that, because managers are going to say a lot of stuff for you to believe in the media. But I reckon maybe what's happened is Levy's sort of opened his eyes thinking, right, Newcastle's been taken over. That's going to be another problem in, 4 or 5 years' time. He needs to start putting money into this team, like serious money, with a manager who knows what he's doing. Otherwise, we're going to keep decreasing because the competition's just rising every year. Like even Arsenal's starting to look better now. So we're probably going to get a bit worried about that. So he needed to do it. I wouldn't be surprised if now he said, we'll give you what you want. I heard that we're at least giving him 100 million in January. I don't know how true that is. But I saw it's about 100, 150 mil in Jan. So I'm over the moon for it. We've now got excitement back at the club. I'm not going to lie, I wasn't really enjoying this season. I was watching sometimes I wouldn't be bothered because we just knew what we were going to get. But now we've got Conte. It's brought a lot of excitement back in. Hopefully the players are feeling excited because we haven't seen Harry Kane this year, whether that's because of the manager or the situation that he had. But believe me, that won't happen again, because if it does carry on happening, Conte won't have that. That's what we need. We need a proper leader, manager who'll get up their arses, because there's so many players in there that don't even deserve to be actually at the club. So hopefully he'll sort it out, and hopefully we can win a trophy this year, maybe the Conference League. But no, I'm over the moon with the appointment.
Yeah. Well, we spoke about it a bit yesterday, didn't we? I think Conte has got his work permit to manage the team today.
Yeah.
So do you think he'll target the Conference League, or do you think top 4 is the main aim?
Jack, how many points are we off top 4, did you say? Is it 5?
I don't know.
I
5.
heard it was 5.
Yeah,
So you're 2 points behind us. We're 3 points behind.
Yeah, see, that's what I like about the appointment, because I saw a lot of people saying, oh, it's disgraceful from Tottenham, only 10 games in. But, well, if we got a chance of getting Conte and we're only 5 points off, that is still achievable. I don't think we'll do it. If we do it, then that just shows how great of a manager he is, to be honest. I don't think we will do it, just because I'm not the most optimistic with our squad, but we'll see. But at least it gives him a chance. We're only 5 points away. We got a really good run-in of games for his first. The next time we have like a proper tough test, like a top 6 team, we've got Leicester in like late December and Liverpool late December. So we got a really good run-in for the next 6 or so games to get him going. I have a feeling today we will see a strong team come out, because we weren't really doing that great in the Conference League anyway. We've only got 4 points, 1-1, drew 1, lost 1. I think he will go for the top 4, but I just have a feeling that he'll still go for this competition and go fairly strong. But we'll just have to see. But top 4 will be priority, obviously, because he should be. He's a Champions League manager. He's got to be in there. We need to be in the Champions League again. We can't keep not being in there. We need the money. We should be in that competition. So I would say top 4, but I could see him winning this competition just because we should be favourites if you look at how many teams are in there.
Yeah.
But obviously, you got the teams that drop out from Europa League, but top 4 is priority.
Yeah. So, Ty, assuming Chelsea, Liverpool, and City they've got that top 4 spot. Right now, who do you say is favourite to get that 4th one?
See, Conte, he changes everything. Like,
I don't know.
I don't know if they'll get top 4, because obviously United should with their team, but obviously Ollie tax and that. I don't know. I'm gonna go United, but I reckon Spurs will be close. That's because Conte, and if he finishes 5th, and say he does win the Conference League, then they have to back him in the summer. Just because if they don't, then that's when it goes downhill with Conte every time. But I think they will, because they've got that the technical director or director of football, and they built something together at Juventus. I think that's the main reason why Conte went there, to be honest.
That is.
So
if he went there, I don't think he would have come.
Yeah, exactly. So it's I'm not worried about Spurs, but I think in a year or two, if he's still there and if they are backing him, then they're going to be a big problem. So I reckon United will get top four this year, but I think Spurs will come close.
Yeah. Jack, Manchester Derby this weekend. I believe it's the last of Ole's 3-game sort of period to see if he should stay on or not. Win against Spurs, draw against Atalanta. What are you expecting to see against City?
Nothing exciting. We're probably going to see a back five again. Wouldn't be surprised if it's a Liverpool result, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's a Spurs result. Just because the thing with Ole, he just has
good record
since last couple of years he just beat Pep like most times, and it's just something about it because you say they're like 3 games. The winning against Spurs, even though it shouldn't have, it's like Jones are bored, and the draw against Atlanta is seen as a good point away from home in the Champions League. And this City, as long as we don't lose by Liverpool margins 4-3, 4-5 goals, then it'll be fine. If we lose 2-1, we won't get sacked. If we draw, we won't get sacked. If we win, then he's definitely not getting sacked on the end of the season. So, I want to win. I want to beat City, but I'm not expecting anything out of the game.
If he gets sacked, like, who do you go to now? Because Conte's not available anymore.
No, he should have been sacked 2 weeks ago.
At
the moment, there's no one, which is why I think he won't get sacked. If he does get sacked, we'll wait till the end of the season and we'll go. I think we'll go for Pochettino. The only manager right now out there who isn't in the job is Dan, but we haven't approached him. We don't know what he's like, and apparently he doesn't like. He's waiting for the France job. So I'm not expecting anything from Man City, to be honest. I think we'll get beat.
How big of a miss is the Varane news? Obviously, he's injured again now. I think a couple of weeks, is that going to be a big miss? Because it doesn't seem like Ole really trusts maybe Bailly, even though he had a good game against Atlanta. Perhaps doesn't trust him.
No, the thing is, Varane's played a lot of games this year, but our only 2 clean sheets this season have come from when Varane's both played. So he's a massive miss. He's just a calming influence of both Lindelof and Maguire if he played 3, or just Maguire if he played a 2. Bailly was fantastic against Atlanta, but he wouldn't have played if Lindelof was fit. And again, if Lindelof deemed fit on the weekend, which I'm sure he will be, Bailly will be out of the team, unless we go to 3 at the back. But if we go to 4, then Bailly's going to go out of the team again. I think Varane's a massive miss. Obviously, he says out for a month. Half of that is the international break.
Yeah.
So it's not too bad. And then, depending how long he could miss the last Chelsea and Arsenal game towards the end, but hopefully he should be back in time. But it's going to be a big miss.
Yeah. Well, Ty has just disappeared as far to talk about Chelsea, so I guess we'll quickly talk about Arsenal. I want to say we're 9 unbeaten now in all competitions. Doing well in the league. I think we're level on points with United and one other team, 3 points behind West Ham, I think. Going well. I think good thing for us is the Europe thing. We only got 3 games in the whole of November. It's, I want to say, Watford and I want to say Newcastle at home, and then Liverpool away, which isn't going to be good anyway, but not too bad in general. Always good to see Ramsdale in the England squad. I'm happy Smith Rowe isn't in it because I don't think he's ready for that yet.
Really?
I think there's other.
I thought he deserved it. I feel like that was really harsh of them not to.
I think he deserves it, but I think I agree with Joel. Joey's not ready yet.
Yeah, I don't think he's ready.
A few times Greenwood's been he should have got a call, but he hasn't got it because he's just not ready yet. He's still 20,
And Smith Rowe's only been called up to under 21s on the last 2 occasions. He's barely been part of that England setup, so I wouldn't mind if he's in it for this one. If he got picked, I do think he would have. I don't think many people have questioned it, but I think on 21 is probably better for him right now. And then it's not like England are short of midfielders anyway that we need him. So I think it's a terrible call. But Ty, things going pretty well for Chelsea right now. Top of the league. It was a good weekend for you last week with Liverpool and City both dropping points. I want to say second in your Champions League group with Juve just 3 points ahead. Still got to play them as well. I think at home you still got to play them, so not terrible. So what's going well so far, despite the Lukaku injury as well?
Yeah, man, super Tommy Tuchel. It's going well. Obviously now we're scoring goals, which is looking good, because before it was just 1-0 here and there, getting dominated by Brentford and stuff. But since we've got Reece James back in the team, and since Chilwell's playing more consistently, we're creating more chances, scoring goals. I just want to see more from players like Kai Havertz. To be honest, he's really starting to. I'm starting to lose patience with him, because, mate, we won 7-0 and he got pocketed by who was the centre back from Norwich? I don't know who it was, but he was terrible in that game. Newcastle, he wasn't bad. He won a penalty, but then against Malmo, it's like he had two great chances to score and he just couldn't do it. Like Loftus-Cheek, who's playing well, he's obviously put him through twice and he's hit straight at the keeper both times. So I want to see more from him. But other than that, Mendy, he's world class. So I don't know if Jack's ready to admit it yet, but we are playing well, but obviously it's still only November. Like we were top of the league in November last year as well, so and we all saw how that ended. So I'm not gonna say we're gonna win the league or anything. We're in the race, but I still think Liverpool and City, I think they're obviously still better than us. Obviously Salah, best player in the world at the moment for me. So we just gotta keep it up. And obviously when Lukaku comes back, if he can start scoring, then maybe then my confidence will go up. But I think the reason why he wasn't scoring before was because we had players like Aspilicueta playing as a wing back, and he's not exactly Reece James. I think with Reece James, we've seen it already. Like when I know it's Arsenal, but when we played Arsenal at the Emirates, we saw Reece James and Lukaku linking up well. So hopefully we can see more of that, and then try and increase the gap.
Yeah. Are you worried right now? I know Lukaku's not in the squad, but the wing backs are getting a lot of goals for you, and not the attackers. Obviously Hudson-Odoi come in and he's done well, getting a couple of assists, but Werner, Havertz, they're not scoring the goals. It's coming from elsewhere. Does that worry you a bit? When it comes to that crunch time and the ball gets put in the box, it's more likely a striker is going to be on it than a fullback. So, does that worry you a little bit?
Yeah, that is the only worrying part. It's just that I think I was watching Match of the Day and it said 12 of our goals have come from the defence, so, and 4 from our forwards. So it's not good. If the striker starts scoring and then the wing-backs are still scoring, it's obviously then it becomes something else. But we need to improve in attack. But so I've been saying this for the last year now. It's not too cool because we create chances, but players like Hakim Ziyech, who, to be fair, he done well against Malmo, but it's Malmo. He hasn't performed. Havertz, I've already spoke about. Werner, I thought he might kick on a little bit this season. He hasn't yet. Hudson-Odoi is the only one that's actually creating chances, and obviously he scored against Norwich. So just got to hope Lukaku finds his goal scoring form when he comes back. Otherwise, we don't have a chance of winning the league if we can't score from our forward players.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, other than that, in the other leagues, Benzema's still doing very well for Real Madrid in both League and Champions League there. They won El Clasico, I want to say 2 weeks ago, not last week, but Barca not looking too good at the moment, still struggling a bit in the league. Same with Juventus. I think Napoli have already doubled their points. Juve look like a strong mid-table team right now, as Napoli look far stronger. Bundesliga, I think Dortmund are actually doing all right this year, but in the Champions League, it's sort of the same old problem. Interesting quote to send off Hummels yesterday, though. Ajax doing very well this season. I think, if they have a good season, Ten Hag might be more open to leaving at the end if, sort of leaves on a bit of a high, because they're scoring a lot of goals this season, both League and Champions League. So they're doing pretty well there. Today, yeah, Europa League, Conference League games. I think West Ham playing at 5, or the earlier kickoff, and Leicester later, same with Spurs. So should be a good couple of games. Then Friday night football as well, I believe. Southampton Villa.
We're going. Me and Jack
Ooh.
are going.
Might as well do a cheeky vlog for us. But to be honest, just hoping for a Livermento a clean sheet, as I think a lot of people are from that game. So yeah, anything you guys want to add? No, well, that's all from us. We'll hopefully be back next week, and have a nice